All right, all right, all right. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Matt, the mortgage guy, live and direct every Monday, 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, answering any and all of your real estate and mortgage questions. Today's topic is going to be, how bad is it? I know there's a lot of doom and gloom. I know that when rates go from 5.99 to 6.8, people start to throw their hands up. It's over. It's unaffordable. Everybody run for the hills. That's not what I'm seeing. And so I'm going to try my hardest. I've got a little bit of bias, and I think that I read all the comments. So I know people think I'm just this, sunshine and rainbows, bullish on housing at all times. I know that housing in the long term is a real good investment. And like, there's countless examples. I don't want to argue that today. I titled today, how bad is it? Because I'm just going to show you an example of what it looks like. And for the average buyer in Sacramento, they're buying something 500 to 600,000. They're putting 5 or 10% down. This is your average first-time home buyer. I think that the reports say that it's like 7% or 8% is the average down payment. Some people obviously do 20, some people do 3, but on average 7%, right? And so the 5% down scenario is a good one in my opinion. And as rates have gone up, most of us who are watching know and understand this, and I think it's really cool to see people who are in the market looking to buy, like, they know this stuff as good as your average mortgage originator, because my buddy Mike Zuber put out a video we recorded a couple weeks ago, and people were up in arms, like, what the heck are you guys talking about? Rates being this low. Rates have, gone up for the last 2 weeks. And the thing they didn't know is that we recorded it early February. And so that's why some of the talk track was around early February when things were a little bit better for mortgage rates. So anyhow, let's jump into it. And today is going to probably be a shorter one, 30 minutes. If you have any questions at all, fire away in the comments. Any comments that come from YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, they all show up for me. So I'll be able to reply if you've got questions. And let's start with this, because I think it's important. Not an offer to lend. This is just a random scenario. It just so happens to be a scenario I was looking at today for clients. And so I want you to see what it looks like in real time, how people are structuring and putting together their loans, and are part of this demographic that is buying something between 500 and 600,000. You know what? I was going to make some edits to this, but I'm not going to. I'm just going to leave it completely alone. Hopefully you guys can read and see this when I share this screen. Come on. Did I really freeze? Ryan, will you turn off your internet? Oh, mercy. Oh, are we back? Are we back? I don't know. Entire screen. All right. I've got the screen I want to share. Tell me if you can hear me, see me. Okay, cool. Are we back? Luis, what's happening? Rashad, how you doing? What's the average 30-year conventional rate today? Great question, Rashad. And as always, like, depends. 640 credit score is different than 800. 30% down is different than 5. But I'll show you here. This will give you a pretty good idea of where they're at. If I never left, Luis, so good thing I didn't yell and curse and do anything behind the scenes, because on my side it was frozen. But anyhow, here we are. Hopefully you guys enjoyed staring at my face and having me text other folks in the office asking them if their stuff went out. This should answer your question, Rashad. Average 30-year conventional rate today. This 5.99 is about a point or so cost. And then I've got on another tab here 6.499, which is little to no cost. So closer to par for somebody with a 760 putting 5% down. Not an offer to lend, just a random scenario. Happens to be a real scenario, but NMLS number 1088993. I'm not promoting rates, making offers. I don't know. I got to say all the things for compliance, right? But this is a 2-1 buy down. We're currently structuring for a buyer where it goes 4.499, 5.499, 6.499, and that's not a lot of cost in box A. This is a third of a point. We pay the underwriting fee and then a small processing fee. All-in payment, taxes, insurance, mortgage insurance as well, $32.36 a month for this buyer. And here's where the advising comes into play, is if you think that rates are going to go down in the next 12, 18, 24 months, you probably don't want to spend a lot of money in box A to buy your interest rate down, because once you refinance, this box A money be gone. Where if somebody's like, listen, I want to lock this in a little bit lower, I want to go 399, 499, 59, we've got that option. And like anybody in the mortgage space, know that you're going to have a whole rate sheet to choose from. It might start at 5.5. It might go up to 7.999. Different costs with different rates. This is a $7,000 cost for the 5.99. It's a $1,600 cost for a 6.499. And then this specific program, you got $11,000 or so in seller credit for the 2-1 buy down. You get to subsidize your payment in years 1 and 2 with those seller funds. If and when you refinance, whatever's left in the seller's buy down funds, it's just sitting in your escrow account, gets refunded to you. That's why I'm a big fan of the 2-1 buy down. One, because you get this seller supplement of your payment in years 1 and 2. Reason number 2, if you don't use it all, meaning you refinance after 9 months, refinance after 12 months, refinance after 15 months, whatever's left in that account gets refunded to you as a principal pay down. That money isn't lost like it is with points. And so if you're in a market where you can ask for and receive credits to do a 2-1 buy down, highly recommend. 10 out of 10. It's a great movie. I'd recommend you seeing it. All right. See and hear you. That's good to know. My man, Luis, out there in Tejas, Mortgage Talk and more. Appreciate you joining, brother. People got to go check you out on YouTube. Go check out all the cool stuff that my buddy Mr. Renteria doing out there in Tejas. All right. Landlord Odyssey. What's a good way to estimate the rate for an investment property based on the owner-occupied rate? You could, Landlord Odyssey, add 1%. The thing about rates right now more than ever, and this is probably worth me pulling something up. Right now, mortgage interest rates, rate sheets, meaning all the rates you can choose from, are volatile because mortgage rates are volatile. They're moving up and down. And what I'm trying to tell people in layman's terms is that on an investment property, your rate might be 8% if you don't want to pay any points, or if you want to pay the least amount of points. But you might be able to get all the way to 699 for a 1.5. And that's that 1% spread. If it saves you $5,000 a year, $400 a month, and it costs you $4,500 one time to get it down to 699, you might consider that, right? What I started with was the rates being more volatile. The rate sheets is like the spread between a full percent rate difference is less. In a normal market, it might cost 4 points to get from one rate to the rate that's 1% lower. I'm saying in this market, it might be 1.2 to 1.5 points. It's a smaller spread. Lenders are doing this, and I'll tell you the secret. Lenders are doing this at this current time because they know that rates are going to go down in the future. They don't want to write you at 8% and have you go refinance it 6 months from now, because that's not good for anybody. For them writing the loan, if it's only going to have 6 payments made, then it's refinanced. That loan's not worth anything to them on the secondary market. So let's do this. Let's do 250, 25% down. I've started to learn that I should be using lower loan amounts because not everybody in the country is buying investment properties for $900,000 like you crazy Californians. So here's what I'm going to do for you, Landlord Odyssey, because I appreciate you joining, is I'm going to pull up the full rate sheet, and I'm currently in my system. I'm going to click on a lender or 2 or 3 because as brokers, that's what we do. And then I'm going to say 250 purchase, great credit, 25% down. Here's my best price lender, my worst price lender. So we got, holy guacamole. That is a lender that doesn't want any business. Holy, what is going on? This ain't right. Okay, I messed up. Instead of doing 25% down, I did $62,000 loan amount. Whew, I scared myself. Nobody wants a $62,000 loan. That's what I just learned. If you want a $62,000 loan, these lenders are going to charge you up the wazoo for it. Okay. Whoo, we're back. This is better. Okay. UWM, sharp. Home Point, decent. Windsor, where you at, Windsor? Where's your 30-year fixed? Windsor, they don't want it. Oh, conforming 30-year fixed. Oh, nope. All right, so we're going to go with Old Faithful, my friends at UWM. And true to what I was saying, the difference between 7625, there's nobody's personal information on here. Let's share this bad boy. Let's get you guys in the belly of the beast. Control, plus, zoom in, minus. Here we go. Okay, now, hopefully you guys can see this. This is for you, Landlord Odyssey. 25% down investment property. To my point, right? Like here's 7.6, the top of the rate sheet, and it costs 3/4 of a point, $1,300. This point, which is only on what's 250 with 25% down, 187 or something, $187,000 loan amount. $1,800 gets you $80 in savings from here to here. $1,800 up front divided by $80 a month. If you stay in this loan for 2 years, it's worthwhile. There's no 2-1 buy downs on investment properties. So investment properties, I'm a set it and forget it type of guy. Sure, you could write it at 7,625. You can get $80 less in cash flow, and then you can look about refinancing in the future. But I would find a property. I would see what I could get out of the seller, and I might have the seller give me $5,000 in credit, knowing that I can buy it down to 6.5 on an investment property for $49.76. Then you've got $11.85 principal and interest, versus if you took the highest rate where you don't pay as much, you're $13.27. So you're saving $142. Is math hitting today? 142. You're saving $142. Sure, it cost $5,000, but it's really only $3,700 more than this because it's going to cost you something regardless. So that $3,700 divided by 142, that pays for itself in 26 months. That's a 2-year break even. But it's a set it and forget it, in my opinion. You know, $11.85 principal and interest, tax and insurance, maybe all in your, call it $1,500. And then in this area, you know, you can rent that thing for $2,000. Some vacancies, some expenses. Yeah, the thing might only spit out $100 a month, $200 a month. Over time, rents are going to increase. Over time, you're going to get more efficient. You might have a tenant that stays for 6 years if it's a single family, 10 years. I mean, some people stay in single families for decades. So anyhow, that's some thought process on that and a little bit of look inside the belly of the beast when it comes to investment properties. Hopefully that was helpful, Landlord Odyssey. Like, comment, subscribe, do all the things. I don't ever ask for that anymore, but that would be very kind, to like, comment, subscribe, and share. 700 plus videos on the channel. If you haven't checked out the channel, you probably should. This has been a passion project going on a decade. I've got videos from 2014 I was looking at the other day. If you want a good chuckle, if you're a fan of the Matt the Mortgage Guy YouTube channel, go look at me circa 2014. It was bad. I don't know if it's much better today, but video quality, the bottom of the barrel. Audio quality, bottom of the barrel. I knew my mortgage stuff, though. I was in there digging through guidelines and learning and trying to put out good content. So I'll give myself that, right? REI Stoners, how we doing? Thanks for joining. Fire away with questions, guys. I'm going to try to stay on for another 10 minutes or so. I've got a busier Monday than I would expect. Happy President's Day to everybody. I think we're celebrating Washington, but we're celebrating all the presidents. That's the new hip thing. Supposed to be a nice, easy day because title companies are closed and some lenders are closed, but we're busy. We got contracts in. We got pre-approvals getting jammed out. We're out there doing it. If you want to connect with me and my team, 44 to 50 states. So if you're in one of the 6 we're not licensed in, I know a personal person to refer you to in New York. Personal person I can refer you to in Nevada. If you're in 44 of the 46 states, it's easy. GreatMortgageBroker.com. We're not selling you anything. It's not a trick. I changed the verbiage specifically on that page because I don't want people to get there by accident. If you're looking to get pre-approved, if you want to work with a team that cares about you and doing a thorough job on the pre-approval, preparing you before getting into contract and then holding your hand once you are in contract, then we might be the right team for you. GreatMortgageBroker.com. Check it out. My dad can utilize his VA loan and lives with us. It's a great question, REI Stoners. Thanks for asking this one. My dad can utilize his VA loan and lives with us. We want to invest in a small multifamily as partners and are curious if this is possible. VA loan, which thanks to your dad for his service, is only for owner occupied. So if your dad plans on living in the small multifamily, totally doable. You can do up to 4 units. In some special circumstances, you could even do a 5-unit with the VA loan. But he'd have to live in one of the units. So he could live in one. You could come on as a co-signer, co-borrower, or like you said, if it's a partnership with you, then maybe you guys are just on title or splitting that some other way. But he would have to live in one of the units. Is the only caveat to that. But yeah, great loan. And you want to talk about getting started in real estate with little to know down, the 100% VA financing is the best of the best for those that have earned the qualifying for those. He does. Okay, I'm guessing that's a response to he does live in one of the units. Yeah, whatever property is being purchased, as long as he's occupying it, that's all VA wants, is that it's occupied by the vet. Oh, this is a good one. Oyuwole, man, you don't make it easy on me with that name. OA, I'm going to call you since you asked about FG. When do you think they're going to pause on hiking rates? This is an interesting one because there's a lot that goes into this, and I hate to be cynical, but like some of the numbers that they use, for instance, that 517,000 number on a jobs report where they're like, look, jobs are great. The economy is great. We're going to continue to hike. I think there's a lot of people that would argue that, that the economy is not great and can't handle more rate hikes. I'll answer your question before I forget. I get so long-winded, I forget what the question even is. I think Wole, is that how you're pronouncing that? We've got another couple hikes left. But I think that the powers that be, the Federal Reserve and our buddy Jay Powell are going to see inflation numbers come down. They're going to see some real numbers in terms of labor statistics and other economic factors, and be like, okay, it's doing its job on inflation. Let's not crash land the economy. And they'll stop after one or two more rate hikes. I do believe with all my heart that we're going to see inflation come down and rates come down in 2023. Some people call me crazy. Some people think that like rates will not stop going up and will be at 10%. But really the Fed is close to done, in my opinion. And so whether that's 2 more rate hikes or 3 more, I don't see them doing 8 more rate hikes and having the Fed funds rate be 6.5%, 7%. I just do not see that as even in the realm of possibility. That's just my 2 cents. Okay, another chart you guys love, I'll put up here because I think visuals are good, is this, which we will have markets open tomorrow. Markets are closed today, so there's no movement on this. But as of the latest reading, which is last Friday, 6.8%. This is a nationwide average, 30-year fixed. Depending on your credit, depending on your down payment, depending on what lender you're working with. If you're working with a great mortgagebroker.com, you're probably going to be lower than average. But again, it depends on property type and credit score and down payment, all those things. February 2nd seems like forever ago, where this national average dipped below 6%. And oh, what a difference a couple weeks make, because there we go, back up to 6.8%. People ask about this week and what I expect for this coming week in interest rates. There's no real market movers. There's nothing dramatic being released as far as data that could really shake the markets. So it should be a relatively calm and non-volatile week, which means we're not going to get much better and we're not going to get much worse, in my humble opinion. But as always, the markets have their way of surprising us. So only time shall tell. Thanks for joining. I appreciate you guys. Next week, I'm going to be on the road on Monday, so I probably won't go live. The following week after that, March 6th, the one, the only Ryan Lundquist, SacramentoAppraisalBlog.com. This guy has the best of the best when it comes to real estate market analysis and charts and data. Cool stuff. So please, if you do not join any other live stream, join it on March 6th. You'll be able to ask questions to Mr. Ryan Lundquist. I'll do my best to answer any and all questions that day in regards to the real estate market, what the heck's going on, where we're headed. He's got some cool data for Northern California specific, which will be fun to dive into, since that's where the market where home base is. Thanks for watching. I appreciate you guys. Go check out some other videos on the channel. Check out the 2-1 buy down video. Check out some other videos. Leave me some feedback. Let me know what you want to see. Let me know what I can do better. I'm here for all of it. Go check out the Get Better Every Day podcast too. That'd be nice. Get Better Every Day on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Thanks, guys.